Bashers, bashers. Well, Timmy's on his stream now because you guys probably had the whole day to watch the half-assed and Belfast match, the follow-up to the Thriller in Manila. I mean, I can't even believe that happened. I don't know if that was a publicity stunt or what, but there was some wild punches being thrown, and it was, you can't help but think it was a little bit more serious than you would have imagined, because it seemed like a glorious stunt, but when they got to it, they looked like they were really trying to throw some serious throwdown on each other. And I thought maybe that Ush and Timmy'd want to jump on my stream, but he's still going, Timmy, because he's the Energizer Bunny. So how are we all tonight? 21 in the room. Tell me who you are. Say hello so I know. Yeah, I was running errands today, so I got home and started to catch the end of it, which was it was kind of thrilling. I mean, my God, what do you mean? The real wristwatch housewives of YouTube strike again. I mean, who would have thought that people who are seriously into watches and horology are going to be watching a boxing match by two jewelers? One who's incredibly out of shape, God bless him, and the other guy, I don't know, he looks like he's had some kind of training, I would imagine. We got Ray, we got Cheslina, Dilip Reddy, and WJ74, and Al Benedetti. Hey, gang, how are you? Did you guys watch that? Kev58 is a Galway man. Sligo man here, and a Galway man. I haven't been to Galway since 2007. Dilip Reddy says, who won that fight? Well, I mean, Trax got all the punches, and Nico was throwing some heavy stuff because he's a heavy set guy, but he wasn't landing anything. I mean, Trax was the guy that landed the punches. I mean, they're not boxers. It looked to me like Trax had some kind of boxing acumen. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. WJ74 wants to know if I got any scratches yet. Cause my green screen fucks with the watch, but no scratches that I have seen. And I'm really babying it. I'm not really I'm not doing much to it. No, not a nick, not a scratch, not a sniff, thank God yet. But I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, right? Because it's got center polished links, and I still have the sticker on the back, if you can see it. You see, there's like that little nick there. That's actually just the plastic from the sticker, because I'm afraid to take it off. And every day I put it back in its box, and it's all cushiony and nice, and babying the shit out of it. I don't baby my Speedy at all, but she still looks great. I mean, so I guess the problem that I'm worried about most is Nick and the crystal, because the crystal sits a little bit higher and it's a little bit more of a hard edge, and it's very green. So if you crack that thing, or if you nick that thing, it's lights out. It's over. But I watched the fight. Dilip says, where'd you all watch the fight? Well, Timmy was streaming it, Oshin was streaming it, and so was Trax, and so were Nico. But they have both participants have killed their stream, so you can't watch that. I mean, I got some of it on here. Let me get some of it for you, for those of you who have not seen any of it. Right. So there we go. So let me blow that up a little bit for you all. I mean, obviously, Max is in somewhat decent shape. Look, he's got some muscle contour, and other than a little bit of middle-aged guy stuff going on. Nico's definitely been hitting the Krispy Kreme or whatever's in Belfast, whatever they have up there. I've never been to Belfast. I've never been to Northern Ireland, considering that Sligo is very close. But when I was a little boy, there was a lot of problems up there, so we didn't go anywhere near it. But so I'll give you a little taste of what was going on there, so you can see a little.
Oh, that man without face
He's a
mask.
wiry
This is
guy,
so
Tracks.
painful.
He's got
Oh my God,
get
that
2 weeks in the
gaunt
gym,
man.
and he's in shape. He's got a six-pack if he works hard.
If Max misses a punch, he
And
can knock
that's
himself out.
Timmy
This is
commenting in the
brutal.
background.
The cardio that is
It just
required
seems
of
like the energy started out
oh
hot, and then
no,
it got
man.
really I'll kill the audio on that, so you don't have to deal with that. They lost their mojo about 2 minutes into the fight. They started to just get exhausted. Nico obviously is turning purple, and the Trax is hanging in there. I'll tell you, 2 weeks in the gym, like hard with a trainer, and that guy's got a six-pack because he's lean. He's just, he's just not toned up. But you guys just say, "Oh, that's ugly, man." Oh fuck! And it goes to headlock. You don't do headlocks in boxing. It's not wrestling. I mean, I thought that this was a load of bullshit, but it doesn't really look like it when you watch them in the ring, right? Yeah, he's got a mouthpiece in. That's funny. Look at that. I like his emerald boxing gloves. I should do it like emerald boxing gloves. Everything from Belfast sounds like a question. Yeah, Tobster says that even fit guys get winded fast getting punched in the face and keeping your guard up. Yeah, of course, unless you're a boxer, you're a pugilist, you have to be in shape for this. This is a totally different type of aerobic. You're swinging limbs around. There's a bit of choreography. This is like almost what dancers do. You get winded fast even if you're in shape. He's talking to his trainer. I hit him in the face. All right. They said it was a draw, but I mean, come on. Here's round 2. And you could just see, like, look at the stance on him. Look at that. It's nice. Oh, boof. Right in the mug. Oh, right in the back of the head. Wow. Yeah. It was good, though. I mean, it's kind of funny to watch. I can't believe they got a boxing ring. I mean, they're really going at it. Nico looks like he has like a samurai ponytail. His hair is all mussed up. I mean, it's good shit. This was kind of funny. The real watch wives of YouTube, bringing you the premiere entertainment of the year for Christmas, right? Forget about fake tits and Botox on the Real Housewives. You've got actual men fighting. That was nice. Actually, had he landed that had he had a couple inches on that, that would have been a nasty one to the jaw. Poor Nico. Look at him. God. Oof. I mean, Nico's got probably 100 pounds on him. Easy. Yeah, Nico didn't connect at all. He landed nothing. Max, he landed a bunch. I mean, they're just lucky that nobody got really, really hurt. Because they could have. I know Sheen was saying that Nico. Oh, man. Can we go back to that one a second? That one was really ugly. I agree. If this was really a publicity stunt, they would have been wearing headgear, but they're not. So there could have been. Watch when they get in the corner, it gets really ugly. He's even got like a boxer's puss on, Tracks. I'll tell you a funny story about him. I didn't know who he was until I saw his face, and then I remembered I was down in the Diamond District a year and a half ago, when the Hulk was like the thing, and everybody look at this action. This is crazy. Bang, yeah, bang, bonk him on the back of the head. And I was looking in the window, and there was everything that you couldn't get was in the window, and I just assumed because the Diamond District, I figured it was all high end VSF factory or the noobs or one of those things. And I'm looking at it, and the guy goes, "Which one do you like?" I said, "Oh, I like them all. What are you charging for that?" And he wasn't charging like the prices that the Hulk was going for at the time when the Hulk was really high, like 28 when it was really high. And I had assumed that they were noobs. And I said, "Well, these are great. What are these, VSF factory?" And he looks at me, "What are you talking about?" I said, "These are noobs, right?" He goes, "Get the fuck out of here." The fuck, it was that guy. So I have met him. I just thought he was selling Chinese knockoffs, but he's not. Apparently, is Michaela. Hi, darling. That Nico is reveling in all this attention. Well, listen, the real watch wives of YouTube, it's all about the attention now. It's not about the watches or everybody's becoming public figures and scandal. Like I said, who needs fake tits and giant quick Ozempic weight losses and all those kinds of things when you have this shit? It's his trainer. Yeah, this is funny. Look at that. It's just so stupid. Really, really funny. Easy about my Melga says, "Don't get a 20-time loop because you'll see tons of micro swirls." I have a 20 times loop here. I have a 20 right here. I haven't really looked at it. It's micro swirls on what? Oh God, I'm afraid to look. I have one. I looked at with the 10 times because with the 20 is so hard to actually see what's going on. Look at that. Oof. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's nasty. And look, he's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" Oh, look at that. Yeah. I mean, this kind of activity, this is the most activity that Nico's had in years. I mean, he lifting his arms that high. It's only lifted his arms to his mouth. He hasn't been doing any kind of extensions of any kind. I mean, God help the guy. He doesn't have chubby legs, though. It's amazing when you get that big. Usually you get the big tree trunk legs. He's doing the high breathing now, which is nuts. Yeah, this is a, yeah, Philip Reddy says, "Does Tim still have that up?" I'm actually nicking this off of his stream, which I believe is still live. Yeah. Yeah. Ray, hey, baby. So this is now the Eye Bashers, People's Front. It's Dirk Weekdays. Sheen and I had a really good show yesterday. Thanks, everybody who showed up. It was a really good one. We had a lot of fun, and we went really long. Usually it's supposed to be 2 hours or less, and we went 2.5. And Philip says that Trax has some experience. I can tell he's able to duck. He ducked everything. I mean, it was terrific watching that guy duck. He had some real. I am a fighter of no. I mean, not in the slightest. I have no idea how to do that. I don't really watch boxing. I can't believe that we still do that, but I have to admit it's really fun to watch, even though it's barbaric and crazy, especially watching these guys. I mean, they're jewelers. That's what's really, really funny. It's like we're watching jewelers box. These guys sell watches and diamonds. One of them sells really bad homemade watches, amongst other things, and the other guy sells like bust down everything. Have you ever seen the stuff that he has? Oh, this is the end. This is the great finale. And they're going to shake hands over it. And they're going to go out for drinks. And Nico's going to have a Brontosaurus burger. Like Fred Flintstone. Michaela says, "I'm a fan of boxing, so this is quite funny." Yeah, of course it's funny. I mean, it's just to watch two guys that are not boxers and one who's incredibly out of shape. It's completely unfair. But it's good sportsmanship because it looks like, hey, is their feud over, or was that feud bullshit to begin with? I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think. Was it bullshit to begin with? It might very well have been bullshit. Maybe they're just does Trax have a channel of his own? I know I looked on his Instagram and stuff, and I see that he's got stuff, but he doesn't have a YouTube presence, right? Well, he will now because he was in the half-ass in Belfast. Big fight. Philip says Nico's going to have 2 Ulster fries tonight. Yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, I've never been up there, so I don't know what everybody eats. I would assume it's just what everybody in Ireland eats, right? You go to the chipper. You go for a curry. The typical shit. Chris says that Paddy Barnes in Nico's corner, Olympic, Commonwealth, and European champion, retired now. Well, he's got the money to hire the best, doesn't he, right? He could just, I guess he could just pull in his Ferrari if he needed somebody really big. Philip says that Max is at least swinging, but Nico's walking it off. Listen, he did. Had it gone any longer, though, I think he would have been in a lot of trouble. Neely says, when I see Paddy Barnes with Nico, I was expecting Nico to have learned some clever boxing skills to compensate for his weight, but he got tired early on. He might very well have learned some things. However, his current condition is definitely going to not help him because he looks, it's a struggle. It's a big time struggle for him. Now, is that his wife? Oh, Jesus. Isn't she pretty? Wow, lucky boy. Wow. Lucky boy. She's the mother of his children. Wow. He must have a nice side to him because she's not into him because he's a ride. That's for sure. He must have something. He must be a good daddy and a good husband because a ride he is not. Michaela's favorites are, I don't even know how to say it. Klitschko? I always thought it was Klitschenko. But yeah. How do you say that? Vladimir Klitschenko, right? Yeah, well, because he's a big, handsome fucker. Nico's going to be taking them all out for a drink and a party at Ollie's tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that he will. He has to. How's the Guinness in Northern Ireland? Is it good? Where do they just ship it up from Dublin? Is that what they do? Or do they brew it up there? I mean, it's really not very far. There's Daniel Gutierrez. Hey, Dirk. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, this was funny. It was really, really, really funny. And I don't know who that dude is. Here we go. It's Klitschko. Okay. Here's Carolyn Martin, the lovely and talented Carolyn Martin. No, this is proof of why women are superior. Well, isn't that the truth? But it is funnier when girls fight and like pull each other's hair out. That's my weave, girl. That's my weave. Where's my weave? Nico is not ugly. He's just a fat boy. Doesn't have an ugly face. Yeah, some people you can't believe what they look like when he should definitely go on Ozempic. I think he should go on Ozempic. I want to go on Ozempic to lose 20 pounds. He needs to go on it for 100. And they'll give it to him first because they won't give it to me. They'll just say, shut your gob. And then I'll have to shut my gob. But I do it all the time anyway. Tobster says, I'm sure Nico's huge mansion didn't hurt. Does he have a huge mansion? Is he that wealthy? Where does he make his money from? Pride and Pinion? Yeah. Nico's a good looking fella. TBH. His persona is what makes. I don't think he's good looking. I didn't say, don't push me that far. Good looking, no. But he has a nice enough face. I bet you if he was thin, you'd be more of a. He'd definitely be more attractive. But this guy, he's definitely way out of shape. I would have waited. I would have waited 6 months. Do a little Ozempic. Get your Patty in there to train you up. You know. Daniel Gutierrez says, "I know you don't eat meat, but what is your favorite steakhouse in New York City?" Peter Luger's. Listen, I do not eat meat. However, I love steakhouses because I love the wine list and I love all the sides. And I don't do it very often, but yeah, Peter Luger's is great. Um, Bobby Van's is great. Oh, what's the one with all the pipes on the ceiling? They have the best carrots in town. I forget the name of it. Jesus Christ, it's been there for 100 years. Yeah, I mean, I mostly cook every day. I love to cook. It's one of life's passions. I love to cook and bake. I made a blueberry cobbler last night because Paul had said, we don't have any blueberry cobbler, as a joke. I learned how to make it. Detroit Spartan says Keen's, correct. That's the one with all the pipes on the ceiling. Yeah, that's my favorite, I guess, because they have San Julian by the glass, which is not something you find very often. And they have Pauillac and Pomerol by the glass. So I think that their wine list is superior. Peter Luger's has just gotten so trendy, because it's Peter Luger's. Keen sauce is phenomenal. Yeah, I love that place. It's one of the greatest, Dilip says Dirk's one of the minority of 1% of New Yorkers who cook. I used to say, because my brother's a realtor, I used to say, how you want to save money on apartments or get a second bedroom? Kill the kitchens, because no one cooks. No one cooks. I mean, cooking to me is therapeutic. Cooking gets me through the day, planning what I'm going to make. What did I make last night? I made orzo with broccoli rabe. I've been on a big broccoli rabe kick. Sauteed broccoli rabe with shallots, garlic, grana padano. My cousin-in-law is the contadina de latte per formaggio grana padano. He is the farmer. He's the guy that has all the cows, and his cows produce all the milk for Grana Padano cheese in Lombardy. He's originally Fanese, but he lives outside of Milano, and he's got the farm. So I try to get Grana Padano to just, in solidarity. I mean, obviously Pecorino Romano is a favorite too, and that doesn't really count because it's very different because it's sheep's milk. I don't buy a lot of Parmigiano Reggiano, but I do when I can't get Grana Padano. But I try to always get that because it's in the family, and they're beautiful people. And him and his wife and his kids are amazing. And they have a little farm, I don't know, about 45 minutes outside of Milano. And he's got hundreds of cows. And every day in the morning, they milk the cows, and then the truck shows up and takes it to where they produce the cheese. And I don't know if you guys have ever had Grana Padano, but it's really good. The 33 month is pretty amazing. It's just another kind of, Parmigiano Reggiano is from Emilia Romagna, which is the neighboring province to La Marche, where they're originally from. And then I guess that's the only places that it can technically be made, Parmigiano Reggiano. But Italy's got a lot of different cheeses. So yeah. So that's what I made last night. We watched Maestro. Okay, so that thing's over. So I'll stop the thing on that. Now, Maestro is a movie I've been waiting for a really long time because I'm a big Leonard Bernstein fan. When I was studying music, and I studied opera for a while, and my teacher was very good friends with Lenny, and I actually got to go to a little recital at his apartment. It was a chamber thing, but it was a choral thing. It was a chamber, like a little ensemble with like 2 violins, 2 violas, and 2 cellos, maybe a double bass. I don't remember. I was like 16, and it was something original that he wrote. And so I've always been a big fan. And when I found out that Bradley Cooper was doing it, I thought it very curious. Obviously, he's an artistic guy, far more than The Hangover would have told us he was. And then we also saw A Star Is Born, and that was really enlightening because it doesn't look like a regular movie. It's all the live shots. There's nothing shot from the audience perspective. It's all shot from behind the stage, which was really great. So you get the feel of what it's like to be on stage. You never see like what the band looks like from the audience perspective. It's only from backstage. Even when they performed at the Oscars, the camera panned in from backstage, and you see Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper get up from the audience, take their places at the piano, and start the performance. Those are all artistic directorial choices that he made. So he's got this really interesting ear and eye, especially for voices. Now, if you remember in A Star Is Born, before he had even cast Sam Elliott, he had Sam Elliott in mind. So he kind of adapted this deeper voice with a little bit of thickness, like beef. It's what's for dinner. He was doing that. I was in the cold. Sorry, I was out in the cold today. I had to get Paul's Christmas gift that I had ordered a long time ago, and it finally came in, and it was quite the procedure because it was in Hell's Kitchen, and I had to go and get it, and it wasn't. I'm not going to say what it is because he doesn't watch the show, so I'm not giving it away. I'm not going to say what it is, but it was 100 pounds. Not in money. It was like it weighed 100 pounds. So I was like, oh fuck! I was planning on bringing it to my father-in-law's house, so it's there for Christmas Eve. And I went there and I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? So I asked them to bubble wrap it for me, which they didn't have, it's crazy because this place it's like an antiques excavation kind of place. They find old stuff and they sell it. Anyway, I picked it up. I put it in an Uber. I got to Penn Station. I put it I went on the Long Island Railroad. And I went out to just almost Long Island and dropped it off. And that was like what I did all day. So I got a little bit of the sniffles. It's not coronavirus, Daniel, I swear. It's just because it's freezing today. Really, really, really freezing. So I've been waiting for Maestro. And I watched it last night. And I had to put the subtitles on because I was watching a lot of press beforehand. And I almost felt like, oh shit, I'm not going to watch any more press because he's doing way too much because it's Oscar season. And this movie has a lot of Oscar buzz. And sometimes it's like when you hear about, like there's a song that you like. Here's for instance. And I write songs and I write lyrics. And I hate when people explain to me what their lyrics are about. One, I think it's a little egotistical and, it's like people calling themselves poets. Fuck you. I mean, I'm a poet. Someone else should call you a poet. Don't call yourself a poet. Like, don't call yourself an artist. I think some other people should refer to you as artists. Like, oh, he's a great artist. You don't call yourself. I say I'm a singer and I'm a songwriter. I don't say anything more than that. I have 800 guitars and I never call myself a guitar player because I'm a fucking average to guitar player. I surround myself with great guitar players. You got to know what your strengths are. So anyway, Maestro. So I stopped watching all the press because he was describing it too much. He was describing the process too much. And I really, really felt like it was going to ruin it for me. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it. I didn't want the whole thing to get ruined by, knowing too much. I know apparently it was mostly about his relationship with Felicia Montalegre, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was hoping that there'd be a lot of music, and there is. However, I loved it. I will say it's a great, great motion picture. It's beautifully framed. The aspect ratio is old school, like almost like a TV, like a 4:6. It's really cuckoo looking, and it never widens up. It never goes to 16:9, but it does go from black and white to color, and they get all the cues almost 100% right. It's just absolutely beautifully shot. Matthew Labatique is his DP, his cinematographer, and he did an absolutely breathtaking job. The makeup. Remember the controversy when he came out and said, people were saying that he had a prosthetic nose, and then people were saying it's Jew face, which is like, whatever. I never heard such a thing. It's unnecessary. Yes, he could have done it without, but man, you know what? It really, you don't notice it. Maybe in the younger scenes, because I mean, motherfucker, I'm going to show you this now. I'm going to show you this is what the makeup looks like in Maestro. Look at that. That's Bradley Cooper. That's Bradley Cooper. Can you believe that? It is not a musical. The one thing, if I have one critic, the acting is absolutely beyond superb. I will say that Carey Mulligan is 100% going to win an Academy Award for Best Actress. It's really her film. She is really the star of the film. There's a fight scene between the two of them, and it's in the Dakota at the window during the Thanksgiving Day parade, and like Snoopy's going past the window. I have never, ever seen like a couple fight in a motion picture that was that real. It just, the dialogue seems so extemporaneous. He was defensive and useless, and she was absolutely magnificent. She was great. He was terrific. And as an old, you would never think that's a prosthetic nose. They even got age spots on his hands. If you look at his hands, he has like old man skin and old man neck. And whoever the wigstress was, or the wig master on this film, it was absolutely undetectable and magnificent. Leonard Bernstein was a very handsome man in his day, and as an older man, he was too. He was very regal looking. Let me get a great picture of him. Give me a second. Let me get a picture of him. Sorry about the sniffles, my friends. But it's just going from cold to hot and cold to hot. That's a good picture. Let me go find that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what they did. Actually, if anything, Bradley Cooper's nose looks more exaggerated than Leonard Bernstein's. Leonard Bernstein was almost like a Valentino beautiful. He's a very handsome man. And then as an older guy, let's do yeah, he was just such a regal looking man, That's what he looked like older, and he had these ice blue eyes and craggy skin and crazy hair, and he smoked like a chimney. But yeah, it was really very interesting. It really was. Carey Mulligan, like I said, was just unbelievable. So here's my criticism, my one criticism for this. And Daniel Gutierrez says, Oscar for makeup. Here's a funny story. I digress. So I'm watching Carey Mulligan on Jimmy Kimmel, and she's talking about how she was toward the end of the film, and she had just come out of the makeup trailer, and she had her like 56-year-old Felicia Montalegre makeup on. She had her aging makeup on, and she did a couple of scenes, and she said, I need to take a break. I'm not feeling well. I'm having stomach problems, cramps. I feel bad. So they got her in her trailer, and they called a doctor onto the set. They get the doctor in there, and the doctor's like, so is there anything I should know? Are you on any medication? Is everything okay? She goes, well, I just, I'm 12 weeks pregnant. And he looks at her and he goes, are you sure? How do you know that? And she says, well, I've been to the doctor and I've had a test and I'm just worried that maybe this is a complication. And he goes, well, this could be a complication because he thinks she's a 60-year-old woman who's pregnant. So she walks after that's all done. She realizes it's because she has the aging makeup on, and she goes to the makeup trailer and she goes, Oscars for everyone. So maybe true. Maybe true. So if I have a criticism of the film, and it is that they gloss over his accomplishments. They show minimally when he was 25 years old, he guest conducted because the original conductor fell ill and the backup conductor was in Europe. So they had no choice but to go with this student conductor, which was Leonard Bernstein. And and it was a triumph, like an utter triumph. A star was born. He was instantly, it was all the shot heard around the world. From that day forward, he was huge. But this is the guy that wrote West Side Story. And they briefly mention Sondheim. Felicia goes, "Oh, he's working with Jerome Robbins and Stevie Sondheim," but they show the guy that portrays Jerome Robbins, but they do not show Stephen Sondheim. And listen, it's maybe the greatest musical ever made for stage. It's debatable, depending on what you think, but from a musical standpoint, it is one of the technically one of the most complicated and intricate works. Tonight, Fight. There's so many unbelievable songs from that show, and he wrote them, and Stephen Sondheim wrote the words. And there was so much acrimony when they were doing it because originally Stephen Sondheim was supposed to get the gig to do work because he writes words and music, but they were like, no, we're going to get Leonard Bernstein because he's more accomplished. So he was very upset about that, and word has it that they fought on the thing. I would have loved to have seen some of the process of the creation of On the Town, West Side Story, Candide, the things that this guy is known for. Instead, it seemed like they were centering mostly on his conducting work, especially that of Mahler's Second, which is one of his big triumphs. But he was a creator, and there's one poignant part of the film where he talks about. By the way, guys, this is on Netflix. It's free, so it's 2 hours, and it's 2 hours of absolute cinema. It's beautiful to watch. He talks about because he conducted so much, he didn't really have a great body of work, a large body of work, and as a composer, he should have had more, which is probably true. But this is a guy that also liked to party, and he had a lot of affairs with men, and his wife knew about it. And there's one scene where something bad happens. He makes out with a stranger in a hallway, and he's drunk, and Felicia pulls him aside, and she just says, "Fix your hair. You're getting sloppy." Oh, fuck. Yeah. She doesn't mean his hair is sloppy. That's not what she's talking about. Because, you had to keep that stuff on the down low back in that day. Masterfully shot. The script is funny, poignant, depressing, sad, happy. It's all those things. It feels like one of those Miramax movies. When it Remains of the Day, when all the classic Harvey Weinstein movies, that guy made a lot of great movies. He's an asshole, but his company made a lot of great movies. So it was good. I would give it 8 out of 10, only because I would have liked more of the compositional work. I would have liked for him to have been shown creating some of the works that he's so famous for. Here's a shot of Carey Mulligan in a scene from a party at their apartment at the Dakota. And for people that aren't familiar, that's where John Lennon lived and died, where he was shot in front of. It's a Richardsonian Gothic. It's like a combination of Gothic, French revival. It's like a mismatch but it's mostly a German-esque style architecture on 72nd Street in Manhattan. It's one of the most beautiful buildings. And I grew up and it was black. The building was like a big, scary, black structure. And sometime in the 90s or the early 2000s, They power washed it, and now it's yellow. So underneath all of that soot, New York City soot, and before we had any kind of laws about exhaust or catalytic converters or whatever it is that keep, we have electric buses in New York now. There's no gas buses; they're all electric. This beautiful German Renaissance revival building was black. It was like a big black thing on 72nd Street, but now it's yellow. So it looks a lot less imposing. It's also the building from Rosemary's Baby, if you hadn't seen that. Easy says that Madonna was refused an apartment. Yeah, she was. She was. A lot of people were refused apartment. I think Yoko Ono should have got refused there. That witch. Every time I see her, my blood boils. I just think of John Lennon, and I just think of her. For all of you guys and girls out there that watch the Get Back thing, the Peter Jackson thing, it's magnificent to watch. And then she shows up and sits on the floor and goes, la, 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 la. You know? And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, by the way, I have a new bell. I haven't gotten to use it yet because nobody super chatted me, but everything, look, this is better because my other one didn't work. Isn't that great? It's an incense bell. It's fabulous. Yeah, so Maestro, it was man, listen, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's never gonna live up to what I thought it was gonna be, because I thought it was gonna be watching him, tonight won't be just any night. Tonight there will be no morning star. It's this most amazing melodies ever written for Broadway, and songs that will be forever and ever and ever and ever. I mean, let me get the list of what's going on from that, because I can't remember anything anymore. West Side Story songs. You know them all. You know most of them all. Anybody watch the Spielberg remake? It was actually really, really great. Other than the fact that they used a lot of auto tune, which is, as you know, I have a really big problem with that. Okay. So let's look at that. She's beautiful, Carrie Mulligan, too. And she's a brown-eyed blonde, naturally. And beautiful. So I'm going to go to West Side Story songs. Here we go. So, the Jet song. Boy, be cool, boy. I want to be in America. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. And then the most beautiful sound I ever heard. Maria, 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 Maria. Somewhere, one of the greatest songs ever written. Absolutely incredible. This guy wrote that shit. Hey, Daniel Gutierrez. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the first super chat of the night in the twilight time. Ready? This is for you, Daniel. Oh, wait. That's great, right? It's an incense bell and an actual musical mallet, because this thing is crap. And he says, is the market at Grand Central something locals do, or is it a tourist trap? I go there all the time. It's very expensive. They've got Murray's cheese, which I go and I get my Grana Padano there. I love their produce. I love Eli's bread basket and Zaro's bread basket. There's Zaro's down the hall in Grand Central, but in the market, there's Eli's, one in the front and one in the back. And they have this French loaf that's super crispy on the outside and super white on the inside, super like airy. It's amazing. I don't think tourists go there at all. I think it's 100% for New Yorkers. 100%. Anybody else go there? Franco Fiori says, upvote for Dirk. Please upvote for me. I thought one of those motherfuckers are going to come in here tonight after their show. I was like, is Timmy still on? Let's go look to see if Timmy is still on. Let's go see. No, he's off. He's off. Let's go there. Let me see. Is Timmy still on? No. So I'm the only one on right now. That's fine. Eliz is expensive. I'm a Zabar's guy. As you see, yeah, I like Zabar's too. I love Zaro's bread basket too. When I worked at El Rio Grande, I used to do the Zaro's party for the Zaro brothers, and they were the nicest guys. So wonderful. What a nice family they were. I love to go to New York places that have been around for a really, really long time, and keep them going, because we're not gonna have anything left. Pretty soon, it's gonna be all over, because everything's gonna be Paris Baguette, which is from China, by the way. Paris Baguette, that chain, it's a Chinese chain. So I don't know what the fuck that they think they know about baguettes, but they don't. So that place, I'm not into that at all. Here, this is a whole other. I get the Veneta, easy H&H bagel. Like, we could go down. I don't think there's any good bagels in Manhattan. I really don't. I think you have to go to Queens. The best bagel place universally well known in New York City is Utopia Bagels in Whitestone, Queens. It's a legendary place. It's been there forever. It's expanded and expanded and expanded, and it's amazing. And you have to wait online for bagels unless you go there at a certain time. But man, it's worth it, because they're the best. I don't know if I've ever had a great bagel in New York City. I don't think I have. But, could be. You really love their fruit tarts, their custard fruit tarts. Oh, God. Those are unbelievable. And how do they make them so glossy? I always wondered about that, how they made them so glossy. It's crazy. Oh, and who do you think plays the token gay dude? Well, obviously Leonard Bernstein was gay, but who do you think plays the token gay dude in Maestro? Everybody's the current gay du jour, ladies and gentlemen. I give you Matt Bomer. He's in everything. I'm dying for him to just play a straight character, because I'm just getting sick of his gratuitous gay characters. It's getting really, 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 really stupid. And I'm tired of his face. Tired of his face. Tired of his face. Ray. €2. Dirk, your new incest bell? Wax. What does that mean? It's lovely. My dog Max. Your dog doesn't like it. Oh shit. I'm so sorry about that. Seven River says, I worked at a bagel place in the Bronx. Yeah, because you worked at a place in the boroughs. The outer boroughs is where all the bagels and the pizza are. And I mean, have I not been down this road already? Daniel Gutierrez says, is Joe's Pizza Chinese owned? I don't think so. I mean, it's only a matter of time before everything's Chinese owned, isn't it? I mean, they're buying everything in New York. I don't know where all that communist money comes from. Hey, where's Topster McDonkey? Where's all that? Where's the Chinese money coming from? It's a communist country where they're getting all that capitalist cash. Easy. He is on Elf, the guy who was considered for Bond, but I think no more. Who was? Matt Bomer? He's not British. You cannot. I know that I'm well aware of the fact that Pierce Brosnan is Irish. But, if you consider 800 years of oppression and occupation, then he was, his family were once part of the British Empire. And that's a job you can't refuse. And also he knows a little bit more about that culture, because, the British culture rubbed off on so many different countries because of the occupation, tea drinking and, curries. And why do the British and the Irish all go crazy for a curry? Why? Because the empire, because of the realm. I just don't want to look at his face anymore. I'm just so sick of looking at him. I watched that film, it was called Fellow Travelers, and it was the most it was gay porno. And unless that's something that you want to watch, it was just so explicit. Like, I tried to watch, I did watch that movie with what is it called? Let me pull it up. It's people's names, kids. It's people's names that I can't remember anymore. On Netflix. and it was there was like an erection on it, and I'm hoping it was prosthetic because it was just really bad. What's number one on Netflix? Ugh. Somehow all of my passwords. Oh, as I'm on Chrome, that's why. What's the name of the girl that was Roller Girl? No, that was Heather Graham. The other girl that was in Boogie Nights, redhead. What is her name? Come on, I'm waiting. Topster McDunkey says it should be illegal for a CCP to buy land. I agree. Absolutely should. In China, you cannot buy land. Commie government owns it all. You can open a home, but government owns the land. Yep, I know. That's a fact. All right, I'm gonna have to Google this myself. Who was the redhead? Nobody knows. Boogie Nights. She was in the Tom Ford movie. Julianne Moore. So Julianne Moore has this new film, and it's called. Give me one second. Her real name is Julianne Smith. Why'd she change her name to Moore? Isn't that weird? These are acting credits. May December. Okay. So she's in this show called May December. And it's about a woman who falls in love with her 7th grade pupil. Ugh. And goes to prison because she's pregnant with his child. And she claims that he was the aggressor. I mean, my God. I know what Lolita are. And I have a story of myself at 14 when I was, but my God, you're talking about how old are 7th graders? 12. Anyway, she winds up marrying this guy when she gets out of prison. And then Princess Amidala comes from Star Wars, the beautiful Natalie Portman. She is a famous actress, and she's going to portray her in a TV movie. So she comes to meet them and talk to them and analyze stuff and all that. And she winds up bonking her husband. Like they go back to her rental house, and she comes on to him, and they get at it, and you see him pull out of her, and they're the whole thing, erection and all. I'm like, what the fuck? Wow, man. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't need to see that. None of us need to see that. Has anybody watched that movie, May December? I mean, wow. It was horrific. I'm not a prude, but I just don't think that that's necessary. We get the gist. I remember Monsters Ball looked real to me. And people are like, it was real. Well, because of Bad Bunny. Ever since that movie, Chloe Sevigny and Vincent Gallo. Why I can remember their names. I remember the D-list people and not the A-list people. I once saw Julianne Moore. My father-in-law and I were driving on the east side. We were in front of the Four Seasons restaurant when it was still there, and we saw her on the corner. And she was so skinny. That's all I could think of. Was like, wow, she's really, really thin. Easy says super stickers are not working. What happened? Did I get in trouble? Did I get banned from super stickers? Wow. Easy said I was going to give that series a try. It's not a series, it's a movie. And it was good. It was beautifully acted because they're both spectacular actresses. But I mean, literally, he gets off her, and it's like, you actually, it's. I'm not going to go any further. You would have imagined it in your head. You didn't need to see it, but there it is. They show a post-coital full erection, and I don't think that that's necessary. Anybody think that that's necessary? Do you think sex scenes are necessary? Who thinks sex scenes are necessary? I don't. I've got an imagination, and I think sometimes it's better. Easy E says Michelle Pfeiffer passed me in Grand Central. Hey, well, next time you're in Grand Central, you got to go to the market. Go get that bread, the Eli's bread. It comes in like this perforated plastic bag so it doesn't get all gummy from, because bread and plastic don't go together. And it's kind of light, like a light tan. It's the most delicious thing you've ever seen. It's so good, man. I get that as much as I possibly can. Here's Andrew. Hey, Andrew. You go. Ta-da. Nam Yoho Dengekyo. Upvote for Dirk and subscribe for more Dirk. Upvote for Dirk and subscribe for more Dirk. Yeah. And don't forget, kiddos, 6 days from now, 6 days from now, on the Classic Bashers, this beautiful Seiko Land Tortoise can be yours. Look at that thing. Is that one of the most beautiful watches you've ever seen? One of you is going to get it next Wednesday. Thank you, Andrew, very much for that. One of you is going to get that. It's going to happen. Let's look at it again because it's so beautiful. And it's coming to you next Wednesday. We're not even going to wait. We're going to do it in the beginning of the show. We're not going to do it at the end of the show. So all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to put everybody's name in a bucket I'm going to spin. It's like a salad spinner. And then I'm going to pull it out. And one of you guys is going to win that. And we'll ship it right out. You're not going to have it for Christmas because it's going to be after Christmas, but you'll have it for the new year. It's beautiful, isn't it? Topster says, worked at Deborah Messing's house when she was a big star in Will and Grace. She was scary looking in person, unrecognizable. That show should have been called Jack and Karen because really, who was funny on that show? Not her. She always, to me, just seemed like a poor man's Lucille Ball. She was trying to be a screwball. Will and Grace kind of annoyed the shit out of me, but I mean, Jack and Karen. Karen was the queen of that show. When they came back, it was even better, I think. They did a great job. But like Jack was like a grandfather at that point. It was really, really funny. Andrew Wolkwich is working till 6 on Wednesday. I'll watch the recording. That doesn't mean anything. You're still in there, baby. All right. I'm not going to make sure you don't have to watch the show. You just have to be, you don't have to be watching it live. And you certainly are a member of this family. So you are definitely there. As is Topster and Daniel and Easy E. Who else? Valve and Ray, of course. And who else we got? And Dillup. All you guys, Felix. Yeah, you're all in here. Everybody's in here. You're all in the thing. We have 1,677 subscribers. And I mean, I know you guys. I don't know 1,670. So I know who shows up here every week. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should pull a name out of the hat and just say, don't know that person. They never make themselves well known. But that wouldn't be fair, would it? So, it's going to be one of you guys that we know really well because you're here every week or every day now. And you really make it worthwhile. And we love bringing this shit to you and talking about stuff. I had a great time with Lasheen last night. We were having a ball. It was just a good stream. We had a good time. Yeah, it's a beautiful watch. It's an absolutely gorgeous watch. You could go to the Seiko main page, right? Okay. Let me... Yeah, they don't have it on their website right now, but it's 42.4 millimeters. So yeah, it's on the larger side. Almost has like a cushion case style case. It's not like oystery or omega. That the bracelet is beautiful. That's more of an oyster style bracelet, right? Which is, let's face it, that's the best bracelet in the business. The oyster bracelet. It's, I mean, I love my Speedy bracelet, but I mean, this thing is just, especially with the polished center links, It is just so silky and so comfortable. It's like I don't even have a big wrist, and Machine just took out one link. And I use the, I have to adjust it every once in a while depending on the weather, but man, it fits me perfectly. Yeah. Ray says, "Oh yes, she will be mine. She might be, and I hope she is yours." Nan says, "Give me the freaking watch." Hey man, you're in there. As long as you're a member, as long as you subscribe to the channel. And we're gonna start memberships and all that stuff soon because we're gonna have a whole lot more comment. I'm gonna be doing some stuff from the street. I'm gonna be doing a lot more content instead of just sitting on me arse, Yeah, I have two great watches. Yeah, I do. And I'm very lucky boy. It also looks perfect on you. Oh, thanks, baby. Okay, so that's the story, kids. It's 6:02. That's my time. Thanks for joining me and talking about Nico and tracks, and that thing was way more real than I thought it was going to be. And for my little Maestro review, I do urge you to watch it. I think it's Oscar worthy. I think it's going to win Best Picture. I think she's 100% going to win. He's going to win Best Director because he has to. It's visionary direction. Matthew Libatique is going to win Best Cinematography, but 100%, if all else fails, it's a shoo-in for Carey Mulligan to win Best Actress because it's the best acting job of the year. It's beautifully, beautifully acted. So that's it, man. And thanks for everybody coming in. Remember, next Wednesday, the Land Tortoise can be yours. And you don't have to know a question or anything stupid like that. We're done with that crap. We're not going to ask you for that. Just want you to be a member of the family. And that's all. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks so much. Cheers.